It is in your precious name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Reverend Cross, for that invitation. Thank you all today. And Reverend Cross, if you would like to leave, you can, and it will not be held against you if you do, and I promise you we will still love you. So,
Thank you.
but you're more than welcome to stay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceeding on at this time, one of the highlights that we do and give honor where honor is due, we want to recognize our employees for 5 years of increments of working for the city. So at this time, I'd like to call on our HR Director, Stephanie Chastain, and our Assistant City Manager, Chan Gators. This is a highlight, and we certainly appreciate what they do.
Thank you so much, Mayor and Council. As the Mayor stated, this is a highlight for us, and what a great opportunity to do this with a room full of people this morning. We'd like to give thanks and appreciation to our employees for their hard work and dedication that they put in each and every day. And so these are the service anniversaries and 5-year increments that we will be observing for the month of May. With Lakewood Golf Course, we have Amanda Hobson Stewart with 5 years of service. Welcome, say a few words if you'd like, if not.
Yes. Thank you.
Also with Lakewood Golf Course, we have Michael Lee with 5 years of service.
All right, Mike.
You want me to say something?
Yeah.
What I would like to say is, COVID was a challenge. And I know some of y'all had to deal with that, but it was really tough at golf course, but we handled it. We made a few people happy, a few not happy. You got it. I hope we don't go through that again. Thank you.
Parks and Recreation Department, we have Ms. Angie Dixon with 5 years of service. All right, with our police department, we have Lieutenant Anthony Roberts with 20 years of service. And also with our police department, we have Ms. Victoria Williams with 25 years of service.
That's it. Thank you, Ms. Chastain. And thanks to each and every one of the employees for the years of service. One of the things that we try to do as a council is encourage every employee to get their years. And the minimum is 25 years. Actually, you can retire when you want to, but we truly try to push them to get 25 or 30 years because Alabama has one of the best retirement systems in the union. And so that's the reason why we try to push them, and hopefully they can stay with the city, 20 to 25 years because of the pension and retirement system that they will get. So the ones that at 5 years, suck it up, at least 20 more years, suck it up and hang in there, and we certainly appreciate you all for what you do. And at this time, proceeding on, I would like to call on Stephanie Chastain again for the reading of a proclamation for our city clerk that does an outstanding job. So we're going to let you do that, Stephanie, and then we'll ask Clerk as well as Tanya Williams to accept this proclamation, and we certainly thank you all for putting up with this council.
Thank you so much, Mayor. This is a proclamation recognizing Professional Municipal Clerks Week. Whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all, and whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community, and whereas professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the professional municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations, and whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the municipal clerk. Now therefore, I, Eddie N. Lowe, as mayor of the city of Phenix City, Alabama, and on behalf of the city council, do hereby proclaim May 5th through May 11th, 2024, as the 55th annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our professional municipal clerk, Shannon Davis, and her staff, and to all professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. We have a little something, if I can get Miss Shannon and Miss Tanya up. Tanya works in our city clerk's office with Miss Shannon, our city clerk, and we just have a little gift of appreciation that we'd like to present to you all.
Outstanding.
I just want to say thank you to Mayor and Council for giving me the opportunity. I want to thank Mr. Honor, because that's where I started. And I want to thank Tanya and Ms. Zena's not here today, but they are a vital part of the city clerk's office. And I couldn't do what I do without them and the department heads of the city of Phoenix City. Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. If you all don't mind for me to say this, but that is an extremely tough job. With all the deadlines and the laws and the things you have to follow, it's a very difficult job, and they always have this council prepared, even putting these books together. It's a lot of tedious work, and so we appreciate you, Shannon and Tanya, and as we all know, they got some more years to put in. We want to push them because, again, as I say, one of the best retirement, as far as I'm concerned, in the union is the state of Alabama. So we appreciate what you do for putting up with us, and I always ask them, I always look at their head first to see if they still have their hair. If they got their hair and hadn't pulled it out, then I'm not too worried about it. Thank you all for what you do.
Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to say this, I guess I'm not the only council here that worry when Shannon and the clerk office is there, so I call them, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. They really help me out in some situations, and he also give me some advice. But the most of all, I think about the city clerk office when I think about the city seal, which is important, that keep reporting right. I want to thank you for what you all do.
Thank you all so much. And now, council proceeding on. At this time, on the city clerk, I would like to ask for a motion for the approval of the regular scheduled meeting minutes for the April 15th work session, as well as April 16th council meeting. And since we were all present, I would like to ask that we take it in one motion, if that's the preference of the council. Everybody's good with that? So again, I'd like to call for a motion for the April 15th work session, as well as April 16th council meeting. May I have a motion? Have a motion from Councilwoman Carter and a second from Councilman Davis. Proceeding on now, council, on unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business that the council would like to discuss at this time? Okay. There not being any, we will proceed on the resolutions and under the engineering department. We have a resolution in reference to authorizing the mayor, city manager, and the city clerk to sign the 2023-2024 municipal septic stormwater sewer system permit annual report. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the Alabama Department of Environmental Management, ADM, requires the city to submit an annual report of its stormwater management program in compliance with the city's municipal separate storm sewer system permit. And whereas the city wishes to submit the attached annual report for the 2023 through 2024 annual reporting year to the Alabama Department of Environmental Management. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama does hereby authorize the mayor, city manager, and city clerk to sign the 2023-2024 municipal separate storm sewer system permit annual report. Passed, approved, and adopted this 7th day of May, 2024.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Davis. Council, we've all heard the resolution at this time. I'd like to ask the council for a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman Day. May I have a second? Second, Councilman Ward. Council, are there any comments or discussion? Not at this time. I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceeding on the engineering department. We have a resolution in reference to awarding the bid to Columbus Quarries for the E24-01 aggregates. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the City of Phenix City, Alabama has solicited sealed bids for bid E24-01 aggregates, and whereas Columbus Quarry submitted the only bid meeting the specifications. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama accept the bid from Columbus Quarry. Passed, approved, and adopted this 7th day of May, 2024.
Okay. We've heard the resolution. Council, I'd like to ask for a motion, please. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman Gordon. May I have a second? Second, Councilman Day. Comments or discussion, council? Okay. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Also, council, on the engineering department, is a resolution in reference to authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into a supplemental agreement number 1 with ADOT for the resurfacing of various streets in Phenix City, Site 1, 4th Avenue from Idle Drive to 16th Street, Site 2, Opelika Road from SR 38, US 280 to Phenix City city limits. Site 3, Cedar Road from the city limits to 5th Street South, project number STPPC-5721253, CPMS, reference number is 100073836 and 100731776. At this time, I'd like to call for the clerk to read that resolution. Mrs. Davis.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, as follows. Number 1, that the city enter into an agreement with the state of Alabama, acting by and through the Alabama Department of Transportation relating to a project for Site 1, resurfacing on 4th Avenue from Idle Drive to 16th Street. Site 2, resurfacing on Opelika Road from SR 38, US 280 to the Phenix City city limits. Site 3, resurfacing on Steel Road from the city limits to 5th Street South, project number STPPC-5721253. CPMS, reference number 100073836 and 100073176. Number 2, that supplemental agreement number 1 be executed in the name of the city by the mayor for and on its behalf. Number 3, that the agreement be attested by the city clerk and the official seal of the city be affixed thereto. Be it further resolved that upon the completion of the execution of the agreement by all parties, that a copy of such agreement be kept on file by the city clerk. Passed, approved, and adopted this 7th day of May, 2024.
Thank you, Mrs. Davis, for the reading of the resolution, which council we have all heard. And at this time, I'd like to ask the council for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilman Day. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilwoman Carter. Council, any comments or discussion?
Yeah, just a brief comment here, if I may. We are just very appreciative to the state of Alabama, and we, as a council and as citizens, we just hope that our citizen is just as proud of the engineering department and the state of Alabama enacting, getting our roads resurfaced. We do have a lot of them that are still in need of repairs, but we have made major accomplishments. And so it's through the work of the city engineering department, Mr. Hunter's, under his leadership, as well as the state of Alabama, as we continue to reap those funds that help us resurface our roads. And that's what we're doing. There was some federal money that was out there for road improvements, infrastructure improvements, and we are utilizing those funds to do just that. So once again, thank you, City Manager, for your leadership in the engineering department for getting this information where we can resurface our roads and improve quality of life right here in Phenix City. So we say thank you.
Thank you. I do want to say this. I know a lot of people say that the roads need paving, this and that, which are true, but I will say this, and I hope everyone understands this and know that there's a plan that's put together when we will be paving roads. We don't just pick something out of the air and say we're going over here or going over yonder. I know it's not the proper word, but there's a systemic plan for paving roads in Phenix City. However, it can change paid based on the traffic flow of the county cars that are traveling. But there is a plan that already put in place when roads will be paved. So if we haven't got to where you want us to get to, it's on the list, we will get there. Okay? So I just thought that would be a good time to explain that.
And Mayor, I'd like to, as part of the add that, anytime we need the federal grant for that, most of the time, when it's at Mac, if any city shovel ready, they're all that, most of the time.
Okay. But anyway, with that being said, at this time, council, Mrs. Davis, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
And also, council and the engineering departments, is a resolution in reference to granting permission to the Riverside Company on behalf of Sierra Pacific to place a sign on the city right-of-ways at the intersection of Millview Drive and Colin Powell Parkway. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas Riverside Company has submitted a request on behalf of Sierra Pacific to place a sign on city right-of-way at the intersection of Millview Drive and Colin Powell Parkway. And whereas engineering has reviewed the proposed sign location and determined that it meets the minimum requirements for roadside safety for traveling motorists. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama does hereby grant permission to Riverside Company on behalf of Sierra Pacific to place a sign on city right-of-way at the intersection of Millview Drive and Colin Powell Parkway. Passed, approved, and adopted the 7th day of May, 2024.
Thank you, Mrs. Davis. We've all heard the resolution, council, and at this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve. All right, we have a motion from Councilman Gordon. May I have a second? Second. Second, Councilman Bailey. Comments on discussion, council? Okay. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Proceeding on, council, on the IT department. We have a resolution in reference to declaring several items as surplus as listed on Exhibit A to be recycled or sold as scrap. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the Information Technology Department of the City of Phenix City, Alabama has items of personal property which are no longer needed for public or municipal purposes. And whereas Section 11-43-56 of the Alabama Code of 1975 as amended authorizes the municipal government body to dispose of unneeded personal property. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama, that the described property as listed on the attachment entitled Exhibit A is hereby declared surplus to be recycled or sold as scrap. Passed, approved, and adopted this 7th day of May, 2024.
Okay. Thank you again, Mrs. Davis. Council, you've heard the resolution. I'd like to ask for a motion, please.
Motion to approve. It happens
Motion
sometimes.
by Councilwoman Carter and second by Councilman Day.
Thank you.
All right. Council, we have a motion and a second. This time, are there any comments or discussion? Okay, Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
And now, council, on the Parks and Recreation Department. There's a resolution in reference to authorizing and directing the mayor and city manager to sign and enter into a contract agreement with William Morris Endeavor Entertainment, LLC, for Taylor Honeycutt to perform at the Phenix City Amphitheater on July 4th, 2024, in an amount not to exceed $2,000. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the city of Phenix City desires to provide quality entertainment for its citizens. And whereas the city of Phenix City would like to enter into a contract with William Morris Endeavor Entertainment, LLC, for Taylor Honeycutt to perform at the Phenix City Amphitheater, July 4th, 2024. And whereas the city of Phenix City agrees to pay a total of $2,000 split into 2 equal parts, with the first to be paid up front as a deposit and the other to be paid to the band at soundcheck. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama does hereby authorize and direct the mayor and city manager to sign and enter into a contract agreement with William Morris Endeavor Entertainment, LLC, for Taylor Honeycutt to perform at the Phoenix City Amphitheater on July 4th, 2024. Passed, approved, and adopted this 7th day of May, 2024.
Thank you again, Mrs. Davis. Which council, we've heard the reading of the resolution. I'd like to ask this council for a motion. We have a motion. All right, we have a motion from Councilman Bailey, second Councilman Gordon. Okay, we have that, Mrs. Davis?
Yes, sir.
Okay, since we have the motion, we have the second. At this time, council, any comments, questions, or discussion? Okay, if not, Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is everyone comfortable? Is it not too hot or too cool in here? Everyone seems to be comfortable. Good? Okay. Thank you. Also, council on the Parks and Recreation Department, there's a resolution in reference to authorizing and directing the mayor and city manager to sign and enter into an agreement with William Morris Endeavor Entertainment, LLC, for Them Dirty Roses, LLC, to perform at the Phoenix City Amphitheater on July 4th, 2024, in an amount not to exceed $8,000. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the city of Phoenix City desires to provide quality entertainment for its citizens. And whereas the city of Phoenix City would like to enter into a contract with William Morris Endeavor Entertainment, LLC, for Them Dirty Roses, LLC, to perform at the Phoenix City Amphitheater, July 4th, 2024. And whereas the city of Phoenix City agrees to pay a total of $8,000 split into 2 equal parts, with the first to be paid up front as a deposit and the other to be paid to the band at soundcheck. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama does hereby authorize and direct the mayor and city manager to sign and enter into a contract agreement with William Morris Endeavor Entertainment, LLC, for Them Dirty Roses, LLC, to perform at the Phoenix City Amphitheater on July 4th, 2024. Passed, approved, and adopted the 7th day of May, 2024.
Thank you again, Mrs. Davis. Council, we've heard the resolution. At this time, I'm going to ask for a motion.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman Davis and have a second. Second, Councilman Gordon. Comments or discussion?
Yes, Mayor, I noticed that these two bands will be performing on the same day. They will have a certain time between them.
Yes, Mayor, this is our 4th of July celebration. And actually 3 groups, this group, these 2 groups, and the group following the 4th of July.
So we start early in the morning, going to the whole.
Yeah, it'll start about 2 o'clock.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate it. comments or questions, council? If not, at this time, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordon?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
And proceeding on, council, on the Parks and Recreation again, is a resolution in reference to authorizing and directing the mayor and city manager to sign and enter into a contract agreement with William Morris Endeavor Entertainment, LLC, for Silver Rock, LLC, performing at the Phenix City Amphitheater on July 4th, 2024, in an amount not to exceed $12,000. Again, Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the city of Phenix City desires to provide quality entertainment for its citizens, and whereas the city of Phenix City would like to enter into a contract with William Morris Endeavor Entertainment, LLC, for Silverado, LLC, to perform at the Phenix City Amphitheater, July 4th, 2024. And whereas the city of Phenix City agrees to pay a total of $12,000, split into 2 equal parts, with the first to be paid up front as a deposit, and the other to be paid to the band at sound check. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama, does hereby authorize and direct the mayor and city manager to sign and enter into a contract agreement with William Morris Endeavor Entertainment, LLC, for Silverado, LLC, to perform at the Phoenix City Amphitheater on July 4th, 2024. Passed, approved, and adopted the 7th day of May, 2024.
Okay. Thank you again for the reading of the resolution, which council we've all heard. So at this time, I'd like to ask for a motion.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman Gordon. May I have a second? Second, Councilman Bailey. Any comments or discussion, council? All right, Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordon?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
And also, council on the Parks and Recreation, there's a resolution in reference to purchasing 2 2024 Ford Maverick XLT crew cab vehicles from Cypress Ford Lincoln in an amount not to exceed $55,920. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas under the Alabama bid law for public contracts, municipalities can purchase property under a state bid, provided that the state bid provides. And whereas the city of Phoenix City desires to purchase the property hereinafter described on said state bid for the Parks and Recreation Department. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama, that the following shall be purchased under state contract T191L, contract number 2200003128-6, with optional equipment from Cypress Ford Lincoln in Montgomery, Alabama. 2 2024 Ford Maverick XLT crew cab vehicles, white in color, at a cost of $27,960 per vehicle, for a total cost of $55,920. Passed, approved, and adopted the 7th day of May, 2024.
Okay. Council, we've heard the resolution. This time, can I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve it.
Motion from Councilwoman Carter. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Day. Any comments or discussion?
Yes, Mayor, my hats off to the Park and Recreation Department. I noticed that all these, entertainment on the 4th of July, plus the vehicle that he's ordered, is already budgeted for this, that's a good plan. My hats off to you. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments, council, or discussion? If not, at this time, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordon?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Proceeding on, council on the police department, is a resolution in reference to authorizing the mayor, assistant city manager, and chief of police George Solinger to sign a memorandum of understanding agreement with the U.S. Army Garrison, Fort Moore, Columbus, Georgia, to provide a career skills program. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the city of Phoenix City, Alabama desires to enter into a memorandum of understanding, MOU agreement, between the Phoenix City Police Department and U.S. Army Garrison, Fort Moore, Georgia, in providing a career skills program, CSP, to provide necessary training to military personnel transitioning to civilian employment. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phoenix City, Alabama, does hereby authorize the mayor, assistant city manager, and George Stodger as Chief of Police to enter into and sign an agreement along with the necessary documents for the above referenced MOU with the U.S. Army Garrison, Fort Moore, Georgia. Passed, approved, and adopted this 7th day of May, 2024.
Okay, thank you again. Council, we've heard the resolution. May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman Gordon. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Bailey. We have a motion, we have a second. Council, at this time, are there any comments or discussion? Okay. Mr. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordon?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceeding on, Council, on the Utilities Department is a resolution in reference to the Municipal Water Pollution Prevention, also known as MWPP, for the 2023 annual report. Mrs. Davis.
Whereas the city of Phenix City, Alabama is required by the Alabama Department of Environmental Management, ADM, to file annually a Municipal Water Pollution Prevention, MWPP, annual report for our wastewater treatment plant, WWTP. And whereas the Utilities Department has prepared the report as required by ADM. And whereas the report has been reviewed as required by the city's consulting engineer, Ardura Group, Inc. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Phenix City, Alabama accepts the 2023 annual MWPP report for 2023 and authorizes the Utilities Department to file the report with ADM. Passed, approved, and adopted this 7th day of May, 2024.
Okay. Council, we've heard the resolution. This time, I'd like to ask the council for a motion.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion from Councilman Bailey. May I have a second? Second, Councilman Gordon. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Okay. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordon?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, council, proceeding on the ordinance. First ordinance we have is a public hearing and second reading. It's an ordinance to rezone 28.1 plus or minus acres of land located on River Chase Drive from a C3 zone neighborhood commercial district to an R3 zone high-density residential district. Ward Jordan, LLC, care of William S. Ward Jr., the owner. The first reading council was on the 19th of March of this year. I will not ask the council to reread the ordinance, but I will ask at that time for a motion. But before that, council, I am declaring this as a public hearing, and if there's anyone that would like to come forward and address this council in reference to the rezoning of this 28.1 acres of land, now is the time to do so. Come on down. Y'all loosen up, y'all. Everybody.
Hey, I can stay from back here, man.
Everybody, look, hey, listen, let me ask, let's try to loosen everybody up. Everybody who got up this morning at 4 o'clock went to the gym to work out, stand up.
Mr. Mayor, council, thank y'all so much for allowing us to come before you. I've lived here, done business for 25 years, Phoenix City. Lived in Russell County and for the majority of that time down in the country. And then moved to a town inside Phoenix City limits in Lee County 6 years ago. When I bought into the subdivision, McIntosh Estates Court, when I bought in there, I knew of the apartments. Some 770 units of multi-family apartment units up and down 1.5 miles of River Chase. But I also knew the property that joins me touches barely a sliver of it, touches St. Andrews, and then we have some that just comes right up to the Rock Island. That has been zoned C3 for as long as I think I've been here. And I'm to assume I did not go and But these two gentlemen, fine fellows, I personally have sat down and talked to them. They personally gave me their blueprint prints, or these prints that I think sets of somebody made. It's got different names on it than theirs. There's some discrepancies there. Started out as apartments, and they changed to the townhomes, and I guess that's what's on this now. Townhomes, is that right? This particular what's before the council today, is that?
Well, then, town.
It's just always, I'm sorry, it's just.
All within that,
Well, and so, yeah, they're asking to zone it to R3, which is, it can be apartments, it can be townhomes. And it can be rental properties, it's not R1. We're not talking about other homes like Rock Island, St. Andrews, Ivers, or Brown. We're talking apartments or rental property, which is what they're looking to do. Again, it boils down to this. The city, and y'all have done such a great job, mayor, council, Sean, you've got, look at the growth out there on across from me. You know, we've got chain restaurants in Phenix City. Who would have thought it, right? We're moving. You've got Phenix City is positively Phenix City. You've got it growing, mayor, council. We need that 28.1 acres on that end of town for something. I had proposed with the planning commission, which unanimously voted this down and passed it to you. I had suggested that there's, chicken salad chick. I mean, I wanted to bring them. I would knock on the doors. You've got to come to Phenix City. Sean's done great work getting Outback. Some of these others come. There's Ted's Montana Grill comes to mind. If you've ever eaten one up in Atlanta, there's smaller little steakhouse footprints. They fit perfectly in that 28.1. And I'm telling you, we would pull not only from the north and middle of Phenix City, but you're going to pull them right across the river, folks. You've got folks in Green Island that would come one exit and jump off and spend their money in Phenix City. When they spend their money in Phenix City on commercial, as y'all know, it's 4% tax. Whereas apartments and rental property of the gross receipts get 1%. Now, I did not do very well in that, okay? But in fact, I had to take some of those courses more than once at the University of Alabama. But, that's pretty simple math to me. You want 4 times your sales tax? I think you probably do. What I've done is I've asked, reached out to neighborhoods, and I would like to just ask them to show their hands if they're here. Rock Island, right here, over here. Macintosh Estates, that's Jimmy Harris's, okay. We've got Macintosh Creek, they are here. Summerfield, these 4 back here, 5, these 4 are doing a great job. That's what. And then St. Andrews. St. Andrews. Go back there. Now, how do you feel about this? Who is?
Hey, Bob, let's give let them give an opportunity to come speak.
Can they just raise their hand?
Yeah, they can raise their hand.
That's all I was going to ask.
Okay, I'm
So
sorry.
I'm trying to get you closing this for you. Raise your hands if you're against this being put in our north end of town. Okay? So, if you're for it, and you're in those subdivisions, raise your hand. Please verify it. These gentlemen, I'm for them building anywhere where they're proposing to do it now. We just need that. We don't have a lot of commercial property up there. So I'm pleading with you just like we pleaded with the planning commission. And, I'm going to ask that same plea, Mayor and Council. Let's don't change this. Let's keep it secret. I will pledge to Sean and whoever, any of you, to help go find some restaurant to come in there. We need something like that in the north end of town that can pull and increase our tax revenues. Just help us
last name? just
Oh, I'm
for
sorry,
minute
Bob
purpose?
English.
Bob English, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Good morning, Council.
Good morning.
Thanks for your time. I'm Ed H. and I'm a homeowner in the Rock Island subdivision, and I'm opposed to the proposed zoning. Why? The answer is simple. We already have an abundance of apartments lining River Trace Road and transitioning further commercial zones into apartments and multi-family rental units will only compound existing issues. Let me highlight a few of them. First and foremost, let's address the matter of property values. Our homes are not merely places of residence. They represent investments in our future and those of our families. Rezoning these areas for apartments and multi-family rental units will inevitably lead to oversaturation of residential properties, consequently driving down property values, none of which we wish to witness our earner and equity in our homes dwindle due to bad decisions. The economy is bad enough. Additionally, we must consider the strain on our infrastructure and resources. More private residences will translate into increased demand for public services, such as schools, roads, and utilities. We are challenged now to address many of those. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. What's your name, sir?
My name is Ed H.
Yeah, okay. Anyone else? All right.
Thank you for the time. Just to be clear to the citizens, which I know a lot of them well in my whole life, that, we're not proposing apartments. What our actual concept is trying to do some nice duplexes that have two-car garage and things for people that are downsizing, that have gotten older and looking to get in a smaller home, to live there and provide some assisted living, facility amenities to them. We can't help it, it has to be R3 to do that. That's the only way that we can do the duplexes. I'd just like to read one letter. We're doing this because we think that it's servicing the need here. We've had the engineer company do a traffic report. I'm not an expert, the engineer's done this. This would reduce, any commercial development would be 4 times the amount of traffic on that road. And then as far as the conducive use of the property, I'd just like to read a letter from Mr. Spud Moore, who has been, in the commercial and grading business and owns the property for over 40 years. It says, to whom it may concern, we are writing regarding the request to rezone the property consisting of approximately 28.43 acres on River Chase Drive in Phenix City, Alabama. Currently, the property in question is zoned to C3, which is Neighborhood Commercial District, and will allow for commercial property to be developed in this area. Ward Jordan, the current owner, rezoned the property as C3 many years ago. At that time, we thought that would be the best use of the property. However, I do not believe that the elevation is suitable for commercial property without significant modifications to the land. The potential buyer and developer is requesting to rezone this property as R3 to allow for residential development similar to the adjacent property. In my opinion, and based on over 40 years of development and construction experience, I believe a commercial development in this area would include a significant elevation change to bring any storefront higher on River Chase Drive to improve visibility. Typically, a commercial property storefront would not be less than 4 to 8% below the grade of the adjacent road. I believe that this would be detrimental to the adjacent homeowners due to the likelihood that their view of the rear and sides of this property will be a large and potentially unsightly retaining wall. Alternatively, the proposed development of residential properties such as townhomes, a retirement center, etc., would allow for development at or close to the current elevation, which would be more conducive to the surrounding residential properties. In my opinion, commercial development in this area would also increase the traffic much more than the proposed residential development, which would have more of a negative impact on adjacent homeowners. Respectfully, Mr. Spud Moore. I just wanted to read that and say, regardless of the decision, council members, mayor, just thank y'all for letting us be heard, and we're not going to have any ill will or anything like that.
the deepest pits between 431, 431, and the lumber yard. Did they not fill that hole up, guys? You seen them work? They do that there. And this topo stuff, don't listen into that. You can fix, you can put enough dirt, you spend enough money to build it up. So, we've done trucks and dirt. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Can I say something else? Sure. This is a situation that nobody can win it all, nobody can lose it all. Y'all's ideas for what you want to do, in my opinion, is good ideas. We'll state it. But just as Mr. Bob English stated, to me, it's just the wrong spot. Location is usually what determines whether somebody puts something somewhere. CVS pharmacy builds where they want to. Walgreens buys the church to put where they want to. It's not necessarily the land that determines its location. What y'all want to do is a wonderful idea. I'm fast becoming one of the people that want to downsize and maintain assisted living. So that sounds funny at this point in time, but it's not that far away and real close to it. But it's just the idea that has always in my mind been neighborhoods and a road that needs businesses on it for the neighborhoods, like we have on the south end of town now, like we have out in Sedonia, the north part of town, even though we have a lot of people live up there. We don't have, right in that general area, we don't have the nicer stuff. We have restaurants, and we have some pizza places and things that are not going off on anybody's property. But we don't have the nicer stuff. That some of us have to travel just a little bit further than we want to sometimes to visit. Just coming to Phenix City, and anywhere in Phenix City, I'll be happy to see. But naturally, since I represent District 1, I want to see District 1 get a lot of that stuff. As stated earlier, on researching our road, that's off the top a little bit, but Mr. Hunter has always put in process in this city, not to have everything equal in the city, needs can't be equalized. But what you do for each part can be equalized. If District 1 needs something, we do. District 2 needs something, we do. District 3 needs something, we do. You can equalize that. You can't equalize maybe the cost, but you equalize everything else. And that's what we're trying to do. It's just location, people's investments, as he stated about the largest investment most people have is their house and their home. And I keep reaching this, we've 2 times, or at least twice, I could be wrong, could have been 3. We've denied commercial stuff to go on Somerville Road. And I probably made a real good friend mad at me over that this last time we made the decision not to allow Somerville Road to become commercialized. If we take it off the road chase, Somerville Road and Pierce Road are the 2 roads we got left to do that in, and that's moving into the middle of the neighborhood, not the outskirts. That's moving right downtown or somebody. And a lot of these people have been there 50, 60, 70 years living in those places, and they can't just pick up and move and go get a loan somewhere else because of that. I can't go get a loan at the bank anymore if I have a loan. Won't be long enough to pay for it. So it's not your idea in my opinion, but I've been against this from day one, and I've never hit my reasons for it. And I just want to go on record stating it again today. The idea is wonderful, and what you want to do, Phenix City needs. But as was stated earlier, I just believe it's not needed in that location. So I just want to go on record and say that.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, everyone. But I do want to say this is a great segue. This has been probably challenging for this council. I know that we have a lot of us have gotten called, not all of us. But I'm happy and grateful for the challenge because it gives us an opportunity, as we've always spoken as a council, to show how transparent we are. We're forthright. We have never, not one time, tried to encourage someone to vote any way. We don't do that, have not done that, whether people believe it or not. It's not ethical, it's unethical, and we do not behave that way. And I will say this. This is not an easy gig. I call it a gig. I don't call it political. I'm not a politician. We're not a politician. We're statesmen and stateswomen. We're worried about the next generation. And so you may ask, what's the difference? A politician is always thinking about the next election. A statesman is thinking about the next generation. So I always tell this council, back me up. If we're going to be making decisions based on trying to stay in this seat, we need to do a favor and leave. And this is the only job that I know. If you're doing it to keep the job, you're not doing the job. But we have been so forthright as far as how we behave. We have never, ever tried to coerce any councilman of how they should vote. That has never happened not one time. And I like to challenge the citizen. There should be no one put in these seats if they don't have integrity and character. Because there's no way you can lead without that. So that's my challenge, because we all live here, we all want to live here, we want for the best for the city. And I appreciate, Bob, what you're saying as far as helping and anyone to help us grow the city. But we have a great economic development department. There are so many things on the cusp that is going to take place in Phenix City, whether we are here or not to see it. But we do have the fiduciary responsibility to try to put it in place while we can right now. That's the job of this council. But I know a lot of people don't believe that and they castigate it, but this council has always taken a high road. However, we will push back when our character is being attacked. We just zero tolerance for that. But again, and Brady, I appreciate what you said, we're not going to always agree. And you don't clip anyone, but at the end of the day, we still have to love each other. You don't have to like me or anything like that, but I'm going to respect it. We're going to respect it. But this is about this community, which we all care about in the best that we can do. So I thought it was a great segue for me to say that. And again, let's continue to try to make this a positive place. With that, are there anyone else that would love to come down? If not, I am declaring this public hearing closed. I am not going to ask the clerk to reread it since this is the second reading. However, at this time, I'd like to call for a motion, please.
All motion at this time, Mayor.
Okay, motion to, which motion is?
To close the public hearing. Close the hearing.
Close the hearing. We close the hearing. You're asking for a motion on approval or denial?
All motion that was denied.
We have a motion, denied from Councilman Davis. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Davis. At this time, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceeding on now, Council, we have a second reading. Again, it's an ordinance to exempt certain items from the municipal sale and use tax during the third full weekend of July 2024, referred to as the back-to-school sales tax holiday. The first reading was on the 16th of April. We will not ask the clerk to reread it. However, at this time, I'd like to call for a motion, please. May I have a motion? All right, we have a motion from Councilman Gordon. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilwoman Carter. Okay. At this time, I'd like to call for the vote. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proceeding on the second reading is an ordinance to amend the code of ordinance of the city of Phenix City, Alabama, chapter 54, miscellaneous provision and offenses, article 1 in general, adding section 54-11, camping on streets and vehicles or in non-residential zones, section 54-12, lottery, obstruction of free passage in section 54-13, remaining on business property after closing. The first reading also was on the 16th of April. We'll not ask the clerk to reread it, but we'll ask for a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion from Councilman Gordon, may I have a second? Second, Councilman Day. Okay. Yeah, motion and second, you got to do this there?
Yes, sir.
All right, this time I'd like to call for the vote. Do you think?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordon?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, council, is license application. This is a second reading also. It's an application for an off-premise beer license, an off-premise wine license submitted by Shams Najah. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing the name, Najah. For Gas Express LLC doing business as Circle K, number 722, located at 3424 Crosswinds Road, Phenix, Alabama. First reading also was on the 16th of April. I'm not going to ask the clerk to reread it, but I am at this time going to call for a motion. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
All right, motion, Councilman Day, may I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Moore. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Okay, Mrs. Davis.
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordon?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, Mr. Grant, call upon our attorney.
Mayor and Council, we have 3 claims on the agenda today. The first claim is filed by Norris Montgomery. He is complaining that I'm not sure his vehicle was slightly damaged. We were our utility department was trying to fix the leak. Of course, we had a water pump pumping the water out where they could get to the pipe to fix it. And he drove by, and about the time he drove by, the pump cut on, and you got he said it damaged his car. You got pictures and photographs, and he submitted 3 claims as required by the city, the lowest being $150. And I recommend that you pay that claim at that time.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Grant. Council, we've heard the recommendation of our attorney. I have a motion to approve this recommendation.
Motion to approve this recommendation.
All right, motion from Councilwoman Carter, second from Ms. Gordon. You have that?
Yes, sir.
You have the motion and the second. Mrs. Davis.
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordon?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mayor, our second claim is filed by Donna Owens. She complains that on February 11th, when we had an extraordinary rain event here, that her heat pump and ductwork were damaged. You've got the memorandum from our engineer and public works director stating that we had no notice of the rain that she alleges was stopped up, and that we went out when we got the complaint and investigated, and there was nothing clogging the drain. Based on that, no recommendation is denied this claim.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Grant. Council, we've heard the recommendation from our attorney. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the attorney's recommendation. May I have a motion to approve? All right, we have a motion by Councilman Gordon, may I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Day. Okay, Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordon?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
And the third one is filed by Desiree Walters. One of our police officers asked a complaint out there. There was a dog in the house, one of the children in the house opened the door, and the dog charged a police officer. He drew his firearm and shot him. Didn't kill him, but he shot him. there's even video that the chief looked at, and my recommendation is based on all that evidence that we deny this.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Grant. Council, you've heard the attorney's recommendation. I'd like to ask for a motion for the approval of this recommendation, please.
Motion to approve this recommendation.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilman Day. May I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilwoman Carter. Mrs. Davis?
Councilmember Day?
Yes.
Councilmember Carter?
Yes.
Councilmember Bailey?
Yes.
Councilmember Gordy?
Yes.
Mayor Lo?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you, Mr. Grant. Thank you, Council. But before I continue with the process we put in place before asking the council and ended up with city manager, I do want to read this. And the reason why I'm reading this, it was put out in front of the public, and it's really castigating this council, city manager, and defaming our name and calling us liars and saying we're not forthright. And as I said earlier, that we don't tolerate this. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that we do have is our credibility and our name and integrity. And I've also stated before that out of all the things we may possess, they can take all of it. But we are not going to let people take the credibility of this council, individually or collectively. We're not going to let folks defame what we're doing individually or collectively. This was typical character assassination, because we have never, not one time done anything illegal or tried to alter the books or do anything. And let me say this, the city is in a good financial situation. Now, are we where we want to be? No. The more we have, the more we can do for the citizens in this community. But we are not in any situation based on what was said in this, and there's a couple of them I'm read. The first one is from Owen Smith, who I've coached and I've talked with him, so I'm not the type to throw a rock and hide a hand. I did let him know I was going to read it since he put it out in front of God and everybody else. So what was said with the bridge being done, was we've done 4 bridges. And this is the first time that this is taking place in District 3 where the bridge is open, but we've opened 3 other bridges. Nothing of this magnitude has ever been said, or this council has never been attacked. But based on that, what was said is after working with them in the finance department, which that is not true. He did not work in the finance department. He was an analyst, am I right? Okay, for a business license. After working with them in the finance department, I just don't think our city funds are being properly allocated. That's not true. You're attacking the city manager, this team, you're attacking this council. We're just not going to allow that to happen. Just don't think the city funds are being properly allocated. We lost $23 million from 2013 to 2022. That's not true. We just had an audit done. If anyone wants to come and look at it, we welcome you. There's nothing that we haven't said that you can't come look at. Because again, our names and credibility is on the line. And I always say, if you want to put people in these gigs, if they don't have the integrity and the character, you don't need to put them in there. We're not going to position ourselves to try to feed our own pocket. That's not leadership. So with that being said, and if it seems like I'm pissed, I am pissed. Don't tell them how much these last couple of years that we've lost money or mismanaged money. Let me be clear. I wasn't in the nitty gritty, but I saw and felt shady stuff going on. Some just don't seem right. We're not going to allow people to attack this council. We just not. We're going to push back. Because again, you are defaming our integrity. So I wanted to put that out there. That's not true. And the other one I want to read, that this is a personal attack on me, is about this mayor's fault. Let me tell you, I get beat up, or try to get beat up so much about this with something that we're pressing kids to take care of us as we get older, as Mr. Bailey talked about. It ain't long before some of us gonna have to get some people to wipe our noses. So with that being said, this person, I have no idea who this person is. It's a code chambers saying that I'm not showing where the money is going or how we're stealing money, and I'm just not gonna allow you to do that. Now, every year we announce how much money that we raise. Yes, we have expenses. But let me tell you this, any business person, we have business people up here, if you can keep your expenses between 35 and 30% and even 40%, who wouldn't give 30 cents and get 60 cents back or $1? Yeah. So yeah, we have expenses. But I can tell you this, last year we were able to bless over 38 kids, about 40 kids, and gave away over $82,000 in scholarships. So if anybody gonna castigate that and castigate me, we gonna push back. And like I said, if it seems like I'm pissed, I am. Okay, so I wanted to say that. With that, council, is there anything else need to be said? Jane, anything? If not, at this time, we do stand adjourned. Thank you all, and you all have a great rest of the day. We thank CTV Bean for bringing this. Thank you so very much.